What?
I was just getting a picture. So yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's.
Am I doing all?
Yeah,
Okay.
can
All right.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You was talking about the flag.
Yeah, okay.
Face the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you right now and we just thank you for giving us another day to do your will and your plan. I just lift up our first responders across the county and the world, God, that you just be with them, just provide their safety and just show them your comfort, God. Be with us as we do your work. Allow us to do your will for this county and the residents and the employees and everything that we do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Bill?
We have, I did notice that we are at 33.3% of our year. And there's a few departments that's over that budgetly, which doesn't mean anything because they could have had one-time expenditure or something like that. Who do I ask? Just curious, is that a Kathy or an auditor?
Auditor.
Okay. That's, I didn't have a question about the bills. I just had a question on the procedure.
Okay.
So I move to accept the bills as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion and second to approve the bills. Any discussion? All in favor? Kathy, do you have payroll? I do. Okay.
Now, I sent this, did y'all all get this, I guess, yes, a while back, geez, I don't remember when, you know, it's been so long, okay. Okay, so this was the pay, and I also sent a little memo with it about why this was up so much, okay? Y'all remember that? You're looking kind of strange. I do. Okay. Okay, so the total wages on the payroll for January 28th was $679,147.83, and then the total payables was $252,096.43. So our total was $931,244.26, and that was up about $100,000. Okay, so our changes on the payroll this time on employees, we have Tanner, I think it's Matthias, Machias. Okay. He went to work in the jail on January 13th. And then Robert Rivas went to work in the jail on January 18th. David Williamson went to work as a field deputy on January 21st. And Tanner Edwards went to work as a field deputy on January 30th. Okay. All right, thank you.
Have a motion to accept the payroll.
I'll make a motion to accept the payroll.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right. Item 5. Any additions or corrections to our?
No corrections. That was the January 25th meeting.
Any public comments? Item 7, consider, discuss, approve any and all items necessary pertaining to the county jail. Captain Sepulveda, I think, hold on, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
We can, thank you.
Okay, my jail count is 43. There are 37 males and 6 females. We did have some guardrail damage out to the front in the parking area. A vehicle had damaged that railing. We have turned it into the driver's or the vehicle owner's insurance. And we're working on getting payment for that. Dwayne and the county guys have already repaired it though.
Everything else good at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 8, consider, discuss, approve any and all items necessary pertaining to the county courthouse. I did get an email from Open Range, and they have sent a proposed schedule for the structural work that they're gonna do here at the courthouse, starting on Wednesday, February the 24th. So I sent this out to everybody here in the courthouse, well, and probably some that weren't in the courthouse. And we'll hopefully can get a good schedule going that is work for everybody. And Kathy, I just wanted to let you know, I saw your email. So I talked to Carl, and they're gonna try to come back this week and do another walkthrough just to refresh their memory, and that could possibly happen tomorrow. So I will have him visit with you.
Okay, yeah. I just need to know if you taking that whole thing down
Right,
or halfway or how.
Right.
That wall that I
Yes.
have in my office.
Right.
Because of course my printers are, hook their electrical set to that.
right.
And I need to know, am I gonna move my desk over, my printers over, or what am I gonna do?
I think that when they're here, they can visit with you about that. Okay,
We haven't had any negatives about the schedule then.
so far, no. And Carl has assured me that they will work around, like, if we have like a couple of court hearings, they'll hold off until they get through the hearing. So, yeah, they're gonna work their own schedules as much as we need them to. And that's all I have, I think, here at the courthouse. Unless anybody else has got anything. All right, item 9, consider and or approve annual report of investment claim for a minor.
So I have to do an annual report and report to the commissioners. I just have one, it's a minor child. And so you'll see the balance on that. I just need approval of that. This child has reached the age of 18.
Did you all see that?
I sent it to
Oh,
them.
you said it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he has reached 18, but I can't find him to release the funds to right now. So I'm on the search for him.
Okay,
So
so that's just FYI for us.
Right.
We don't have to take any action
No.
on that.
well, just approval, because it's a report I have to have
Oh, okay.
approved.
But I'm motion to approve that report.
I'll move to approve the report submitted by Ms. Jan Barnes.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 10, to consider and or approve lease fee of new election equipment and leasing of new equipment to PSP CISD.
So Bill Wiggins from PSP had called me about leasing equipment for their election in May, and I told him that, we have new equipment and that the fee would possibly go up because they were paying $100 per piece of equipment. That old equipment was purchased in 2006. So now we have new equipment. And I sent you, or the judge sent you
Mhm.
the cost of the equipment now. Our vendor said we can charge 10% of that, which is pretty steep fee. So I figured also a 5%. So I just need some input on what you think. I don't want it to be a hardship on the entities that lease our equipment, but if something's damaged, it will probably be up to us to fix it. So we need to protect our equipment and make sure they take care of it, but I just need to know what your thoughts are because PSB does want to lease our equipment.
So there's no way that we can say, hey, we're gonna just charge you this amount, 5%, and if you damage the equipment, you have to fix it.
We have to have a contract with them.
Right,
Yeah,
and
so
in
you
this
don't-
lease
you don't have
agreement,
that.
it does say that. But we've had an instance before where something was damaged. And I reached out to them and told them, and they never came forward with any, so we fixed it. So, but I tried to get some money, but it didn't work out, so.
Whatever precedent we set with PSP, how many entities borrow
Sometimes, like Fritch does the school, but Fritch School bought some, but they didn't buy the counter for their equipment. So I think they might want to do our DS 200, which actually counts the ballots. I foresee that they might want to do that. City of Fritch doesn't have any equipment. Sometimes they lease our equipment. Borger has their own. And the city of Stinnett will not, since I have Jamie working in our office. That's a conflict. So we just have 2 or 3 that we might.
Well, I think, what is it, 350? I was trying to remember what.
So before we were charging $100 per piece of equipment. And at 5%, it would be $433.
Right.
And on your,
That's a lot.
That's a big increase. isn't it?
That is. I mean, and it's totally up to you. If you want to stay at 100, if you want to go to 200,
Could we, well, I mean, we can do what we want, but
how many machines do they lease?
so like PSP, they're gonna have maybe 3 polling places, so they need 2 pieces of equipment at each polling place. So they're gonna, like for 2 polling locations, it'd be $867.50 for 2 polling places at 5%.
and how many polling places did you say we have?
They may have 3. He's
3.
trying to get rid of 1, so to get rid of that expense.
So would you be okay to charge them $200 per piece of equipment?
If that's what y'all want to do, that is
Right.
perfectly fine with me.
But make sure our contract and make sure they understand that if they have to at least help us pay for
Mhm.
something if it breaks.
Mhm. And
Yeah, I
of
think you
course-
ought to make that clear.
Yeah, of course, our rep said, we can charge 10% administrative fee to them, which we've never done before. Because when they lease our equipment, we, test it for them. We do a lot of work
Right.
behind the scenes
Right.
for them, even on election day. Sometimes I'm up there helping close that stuff out. So we've never charged that before. And that would be hard to figure, but if y'all are good with 200, that's fine with me.
Well, they're gonna have to borrow it regardless, because we looked at buying those at the city of Fritz, and they're $8,000 each. And we needed 3 of them or 2 of them, I think. And so we partnered with the school. That's why we got half and half. So no one's just gonna drop $8,000 for that. But I do know we called you quite often to come and help set everything up, and the manpower that y'all put in there. So I know I may get stopped at $300, and that's all the legwork you guys do behind the scenes, because y'all do quite a bit.
Sure.
And I know it's a huge increase, but y'all do work a lot. So with what Gary said as well, maintaining that they understand if anything's broken, that they will pay you that as well.
Yeah,
Because
that still would be discounted,
Mhm.
$300.
That's a high, I mean, these are high quality machines too.
They
I'm
are.
very proud of them.
I'd be fine with the 300. I mean, a contract's a contract, so if they damage it, then
Mhm,
they understand that they're facing a challenge to pay it back. And
mhm.
that's part of what they're entering for us. So. I
And it clearly states that in the contract, in the lease agreement. But,
Well, if I have to, I'll call them if they get
okay.
right.
Okay. Strong
Me and
one.
Gary will go
But-
get them.
Yeah,
We'll dress like ninjas.
yeah, we'll bring our baseball bats. But I
Well-
could see where it would be hard to enforce too.
Yeah,
So,
because there are people.
yeah, so I would go along with the 300. I think that's a,
Well, I moved to charge $300 for leasing our election equipment
Per machine.
per machine.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second to charge the $300 per machine. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Can we make that motion also to approve the leasing to PSP?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Okay, will that work?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, 11 is to consider and or approve the Hutchinson County Sheriff's Office 2020 racial profiling report. And Andy submitted this to me, or Chief Trahan. And it's just for our information. It's the report they have to send in on the racial profiling. And he did tell me no action was needed, just required by law to present to the Commissioners Court. So I'll pass it around if y'all want to look at it. Sheriff, did you want to say anything about that?
No, ma'am. No, we're good.
I think Chief Trahan just said it was just for it to be presented.
Yes, ma'am.
We can.
Okay.
All right, item 12 is to consider and or approve bonds for Chief Jeremy Sharp, Jennifer Hoag, and Amber Buchanan from the Juvenile Probation Department. This is just their bond renewal. Just made a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the bonds.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 13 is to consider and or approve the TAC County Information Resource Agency Service Agreement. This is for our website, and it's just an update on the service agreement. Nothing has changed. They did go up on some prices, or will in January of 22, but it's not something that's going to affect us because we don't use their email hosting. And so everything else is the same. And before Mike left, I had him review this contract and he was okay with it.
Second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? I'll give you a copy of that. You can keep.
Okay.
All right, item 14 is our update on COVID-19.
Okay, currently Hutchinson County cases, 964 confirmed. That's up 60 since last Commissioner's Court, 454 probable, 54, total of 1,418 cases. Active cases currently 124, that's up 42 since last Commissioner's Court. Recovered cases 1,230, it's up 91. Fatalities are at 64, it's up 4 fatalities since last Commissioner's Court. This is some statistical information as far as statewide numbers. Just new confirmed cases as of yesterday, 5,278, 167 reported fatalities yesterday. We are seeing as far as a positivity rate and a little bit of a decline, or is actually shown on state numbers, the decline in positivity is coming down, which is definitely a good trend. This is as far as fatalities, some statistical information on fatality. You can see the male versus female, racial ethnicity, and age at the bottom there. 13,356 over 80 years is definitely the highest in that area. So this is statewide numbers as well. This is lab confirmed. COVID-19 patients in hospitals, 9,652. So it was about 12,000 last commissioner's court. So the numbers are coming down. Available ICU beds are coming up, which is definitely a trend we'd like to see. Right now, our positivity rate's 11.7%. The last time it was about 17%. So positivity rate, this is, like I said, these are state numbers, so it's a different when I break it down locally compared to state numbers, but it is trending down, which is good. This is our trauma service area. So you're looking at available hospital beds, 364, ICU 27. So that's coming up, which is, we want to see more available ICU beds. Available ventilators, 137. That's down a little bit, just regionally. But I guess some good news as far as ventilators, we've actually shipped some of those back to the rack in Amarillo, and they've shipped some back to Austin. So we have less available here, but we're using less too, and I'll show you that in a minute. So as of, you can see the difference between last meeting and today, as far as our positivity rate in our, this is Potter and Randall County of VSA and Northwest Texas Hospital, 4.52%. Today it's 3.83%. Total adult bed utilization, so it's roughly about the same, but ICU utilization is coming down to 75%. Ventilator use is down to 29.5%. So this is our trauma service area, our hospitalization for that trauma service area. Last commissioner's court 17.44. Now it's at 10.46. This is the number that's directly affected by that governor's executive order 32 for some restrictions on businesses such as, you know, bars and just general occupancy, as far as going from 15 or 50% to 75%. So we did hit a 7-day rate of under 15%. So it was, they were able to increase occupancy for local businesses up to 75%. And then, like I said, bars can open up at 50%. And then the judge did submit to the TABC. You have to submit a exemption to the state for that, for those. Once you get under that criteria, so people can't open up. Golden Plains Hospital is still at 33% COVID capacity. They have decreased their capacity in the hospital, though. They had 2 different wings specifically for COVID patients. So they actually kind of broke that out, and now they only have 1 wing specific to COVID. And then they have a med-surg unit that is able to go back to that if we need it to, but right now it's not. So, which is good. They said you're still looking at a 33% capacity of COVID, but we're dealing with half the number of beds now too. So that's good news. On the vaccine side of things, so far the county's been allocated 800 doses of vaccine. Out of that 800 doses of vaccine, we've had 1,453 people be vaccinated in Hutchinson County, or at least who have had a Hutchinson County address. Doesn't matter where they're getting vaccinated at. That's why we're showing way more people vaccinated than how many doses were allocated, because these people are going to Amarillo or wherever they can to get the vaccine. So with the small amount of vaccine that we've received, yeah, I've been trying to if people call me, I'm asking, well, if you can get it somewhere else and get it somewhere else, because this is all on the state as far as how much we're getting. So nothing that we're doing is getting us any more as far as their allocation. But if you can find it somewhere else, then go somewhere else and get it. But 400 people in Hudson County have been vaccinated completely, so 400 have had their second dose as well. This is our current enrollment for vaccine. These are the people that have registered for vaccine distribution. And if you see approved there under status, we had one additional approved pop up on there. That's the Board of Pharmacy. So we still have a couple that are pending, but we're getting more people added to this list. So availability, it's not that we don't have people that want to give it out. It's just state giving us the vaccine. Week 8 allocations have came in. 100 doses will go to Golden Plains Hospital, and that should be this week. And then next week, week 9 allocation came out as 200 additional doses that'll go to Border Pharmacy. We're currently working with both of them to set up a ticketing type system to kind of where we don't have the traffic issues that we had last time. The ticketing type system where you can go online and register to get your vaccine. And then you'll receive a ticket in an email or on the deal, and you can bring that up to your vaccine location. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 15, Jerry, is there any action we need to take?
No, there was one other thing on the CRF funding that we had applied for back when this had close to when this started back in April. We'd submitted everything, and then we hadn't heard anything else back as far as what's going on. So I emailed them. We did get an email back saying that everything was approved. It's kind of in the final approval process, and then once that gets approved, they'll should be sending us the funds. That's about $203,000 for that grant. And then we're still looking at the other one is still in a pending status too, and that's about $53,000. So we still have quite a bit of money that's coming into the county, but as far as what they told me, we don't have to do anything else. We're just waiting for them to send us the money. So that's where we're at on the grants.
Okay, good. All right, so there's no action, then we'll just skip over 15. 16, consider and or approve burn bin or rescind the burn bin.
We're currently at a 381 on the drought index. So it's asked for no action right now, but it is ticking upwards, and we are having more fire calls popping up, but right now it's at 381. So no.
Okay, thank you. All right, item 17, consider and or approve disposal of obsolete office equipment. I don't think I have anything this week. 18, accept certificates of completion from elected or appointed officials.
I have Gary Alexander submitted certificate for completing 20.50 hours at the educational training for the newly elected county judges and commissioners. Also, he did the criminal justice information service training, and also the tax cybersecurity awareness training. Dwight Kirksey submitted certificate for his 20.50 hours of education at the newly elected commissioners meeting. He also did the criminal justice training. Ben Bentley submitted certificate for his 20.505 hours of training for the newly elected judges and commissioners. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks. 19, consider and or approve request. Oh, we're not. Strike that off of there. I'm afraid if I ever take it off, I'll forget to put it back
By the
on.
time you do, we're gonna open it
Right.
up.
Okay, but hopefully we can get back to renting it. What do you think, Chris, at some point?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was eyeballing under 100 consistently,
Right.
double digits.
All right, item 20, consider and or approve line item changes, transfers, and or budget amendments. Okay, good. 21, consider and or approve advertising, opening, accepting, or awarding bids.
Well, we've got the depository, when's that gonna happen?
We're gonna have a
Wednesday.
special meeting for that to open the bids,
Mhm.
and then we'll approve them at our next commissioners court meeting.
And then we've got the sale of the laptop, Elmer's laptop.
Do you want to
That'll
do
be-
that next Wednesday too? Will it be ready?
No,
To
the
open the bid?
publication says 18th.
Oh, okay.
It'll be open the 22nd, and it has to be in by the 18th.
Okay.
And interesting, had an inquiry from Virginia and Mississippi. Where they picked it up, I don't know. But they've not sent a bid.
Just an inquiry.
Yeah.
Huh.
Email asking for information, which they've got it all if they had that much, so. But I thought that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Not from Milner though. Has anybody told Milner that he needs to submit something again?
I'll text him. By when?
The 18th.
By the 18th. Okay.
What he did before would probably be fine,
Okay.
offering his furniture and what have you.
Right. Okay. All right, item 22, consider and approve donations to Hutchinson County. Mark, do you know of any?
No.
23, accept reports from elected or appointed officials required by statute.
I have January reports from the county clerk, JP1, JP2, and the airport. Also, the Child Welfare Board sent a report, and then Dwayne Chisholm's.
In my report.
Oh, and I have you down under the other one, under
Oh.
24.
Cool.
All right, item 24, discussion of county judges and commissioners precinct daily operations. Did you want to go over something?
Oh, no,
That's where you give your report in 24.
oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, it's just, what I did the whole month.
Okay.
I'm running a log so I can stay on top of
Keep
things.
track.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they
Did you
said I
get
just
that?
submit it.
Okay. Have you talked to Dennis out at the airport?
Yes, I went to their board meeting
Oh, okay.
and what they'd done, they had to do some work on one of the hangars. It's electrical over hydraulic. So they had Keltex out there and they were fixing them. So their expenses were a little bit higher, as you
Mhm.
could see.
Mhm.
And then they had another little slight problem with overtime hours.
Mhm.
And I think we've got that solved.
Okay.
So, but that's all I have. Just
Did Dennis talk to you any about the construction project to rebuild the main runway? And TxDOT's offering another grant.
yeah, another grant for the east-west runway,
Uh-huh.
the shorter one.
I think I've got May 21st. I don't know if
Yeah, I didn't.
that's a meeting date. I can't remember. what
I
it's
let
on.
that out in my pickup, but I wrote that down, the date when they were supposed to get started, or you know.
So I think he just called just to give us the heads up on that.
Yeah.
There would be some discussion about it, possibly another grant, which would be like a 80-20 or a 90-10 or something.
Yeah, it's probably going to cost about 30, I think. But you're talking about millions of dollars worth of work, so
Right.
be hard to turn that down. It's going to have to be done eventually.
Right.
So,
Especially when there's money.
yeah.
That they're offering us. Okay, anyone else have anything on precinct operations? All right, item 25, consider and or approve sale of struck off tax properties and tax deeds. We have 3, I think. The first one is on 810 Nonkin in Borger. And the bid was for $10 by Maria Valdez. Now, the reason that was so low, the city, or they sent some information that she entered into an agreement with the city of Borger to tear down and clean up the structure and debris located at 810 Monken. The property has been cleaned up and inspected by the city of Borger. And so they did all of that work and she bid $10 for the purchase of the property.
She paid for cleaning it up?
No, the city did. Evidently the city came in there and did that.
Huh.
No, I didn't get that one. I only got the one on McPherson.
Oh, I sent this one, well, I thought I sent it in with, it was a group email.
I saw it, but I didn't do anything. I
Oh,
looked at it.
yeah, it
I
was.
only
in-
opened the agenda because you usually send me the tax deeds by themselves. So
Yeah,
I just assumed
I just attached it to that.
when you said the
Yeah.
property would be on there, I just assumed it was this one that you had
Right.
already sent me.
Yeah, this is,
But
if,
Nonkin's in Rock Creek.
right,
There's
if you
nothing going on over
look,
there.
this is the structure I believe they tore down. And it was an old, like, trailer, dilapidated trailer with a little carport thing on the
Hmm.
side. And it's adjacent to her property. Yeah, I think it's that structure right there in front of the pickup that was torn down. That. And she owns the property next to it.
And like I said, that's in Rock Creek, so there's not much development going on
No.
over there. Interesting the city did that.
Hmm.
But I'd make a motion, we approve that offer.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. And the next property is 719 McPherson in Borger. Again, that's in Rock Creek. A bid of $60 was made by Ronald Jenkins.
Yeah, it's just an empty lot. You see that circle, that C circle drive, they kind of, the neighbors have turned that into a kind of their driveway, so they're gonna have to,
Oh,
go down right in front of it, but it's just an empty lot right there. Just like that.
hmm.
So I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. And then the next property is locate, and this is Ben's. Well,
It got sent to me.
no, it's not. The address says Stinnett, but it's out there in Sanford, I think.
Yeah,
It's
I
that.
could not find it.
Yeah, it's super hard to locate these properties. It's a bunch of lots at that Retrita del Plano.
Yeah, I didn't even know where to look.
Can you find that?
Where is it?
It's Retrita del Plano, Retreta, Retrita del Plano.
My GPS said does not exist.
Hmm.
Look out there off of La Grande Via.
Now I'm craving Taco Villa.
That'd be probably, is it
Yeah,
Buggy?
it's west of Buggy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I looked in Sanford. I was like, I
yeah.
don't see any. I didn't see any
We've had
cul-de-sacs
a
or
lot of
anything.
property out there that's been struck off and gone. Anyway, they're submitting an offer of $250 per parcel with a total of $1,250.
That's the called?
Retrita del Plano? Or what'd you say the street was?
Well, I think it's in that section. I think that is in that, La Grande Via is the only county road we have out there, but there's some private roads.
Right.
It's in that. I think that's what that area is.
And it has a cul-de-sac that these properties are in, or I think it's a cul-de-sac.
How big are those lots?
Well, this is what, it looks like it was, maybe that one was damaged and.
Well, I didn't even go out there, so I know I didn't get close to that. I thought it was in Sanford.
Okay, so it's La Grande Via and Circulo.
There's a Serenidad.
It's a cul-de-sac. And this is what it looks like. It's these lots that have the X or the star on them.
It looks like it's, Jerry, it looks like it's that Serenidad Circulo right here. Go
Down at the bottom.
down, scroll down. Is it-
Oh, yeah. See
Yeah,
that little,
hook, that
yeah.
circle hook, cul-de-sac. That's a country cul-de-sac. Right there.
Yeah, right there where you were at, down, that one right there, yeah. I think that's it. Doesn't look like there's much out there. Anyway, they are offering $250 per parcel with a total of $1,250 being made by James Long from Fritch. And those have all been struck off anywhere from 87 to 2003 and appraised anywhere from $630 to $2,420.
And they're getting how many?
3 lots.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots.
Oh, I thought you just said it was the
But
ones
they
with the
were
X.
per parcel.
The bid was kind of confusing. It showed $2,420, I think. But then there was a mark through it and an initial that said 1,200 and something.
This says 1250.
So like they decreased their bid to 1,250 something.
Well, it looks like they deposited half,
Oh, okay, that's where I get confused.
Yeah, the
'cause it
deposit
doesn't really
amount.
show the,
was half.
so they're still wanting the 2420 or bidding 2420.
1250 total.
You said for 7.
I move to award the bid for 12, what'd you say?
1250 total.
1250 total to James Long.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, anybody have anything else? We just had those 3 tax deeds. Okay. Meeting adjourned.